How's it going, everybody? Viewers and subscribers of YouTube. Standing behind me is my 1992 Chevy pickup. I've actually had this truck for the better part of 15 years now. It's been had a long life. As you can see, it needs a little help. It was actually a pretty big project of mine last year. I lost a lot of the footage when my computer crashed. I still have some left on my old camera. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and compile a list of everything I got. Maybe make a few episodes or whatever it is I have. I've actually had a couple of my friends ask me about it. See what's been happening to it. I actually just had a back window put in it 2 weeks ago. Just as a little surprise. You now see that it has actually got a diesel in it. It's a 4-cylinder turbo Cummins diesel, 3.9. Same as the 6BT, dubbed a 4BT. It's literally the same thing, just 2 cylinders lopped off the end of it. Lack of a better word, it's a tractor motor. So, stick around, check it out. So I bought a new torque converter, that lime green thing there. These diesel torque converters are, it's a 30 spline diesel torque converter for 700R because they put the 700Rs behind the 6.2 diesels. Instead of a normal V8, it comes with 3 of the mounting bolts. Well, diesel's got 6. So ordered the 6th one. Problem is, see if I can get, yep, not short enough. I've tried to spin it every which direction. It's not right. This is the Turbo 400. Now the torque converter guy tells me it's impossible to take the tabs and cut them off of that torque converter and move them out. He says I have to either make a new adapter plate or I have to get a new flywheel made and drilled. And it's not the flywheel because I'm not doing a flywheel. I can get a whole adapter kit, but that was the reason I ordered this specific motor because it had the Chevy adapter on it. So why spend another $900 freaking dollars on a flywheel and adapter plate, and then I still got to get another starter. So that's another $200 bucks, and I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these tabs on the Turbo 400. You can hear it dripping in the bucket. And they are only welded, have pretty much 2 welds on the outside. So I'm going to cut these to take these tabs off of this torque converter. And I'm going to bolt them back to the ring that goes around this. I'm not going to cut these off, the originals. I'm going to leave them on and just, all I'm going to do is rotate it to be just in the middle. This thing has a centric ring on it, so it's going to keep it where it needs to go. And we're going to clean the paint off and weld them on. And here are the 6 tabs I cut off. Here, as you can see, we'll get in on that. They have an electric weld, and then they had another actual weld from a machine or an individual or whatever. So what I'm going to do is finish cleaning them up so I get a good ground at them and bolt them to my flywheel. Alright, so a total of probably 2 hours labor. I have my torque converter right and ready and painted. Look at that. Actually had some of the lime green paint to go with the original. Here's my original. Here's the original tabs. Here's the new tabs. You can till they're out a little bit further. But everything looks good. I'm happy with. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the trans, mount it up to the truck, or the motor, and eventually it'll end up in the truck. Alright, this is the truck that my 4BT's going in. It's my 1992 Chevy Silverado. I've had this truck for 13 years, I guess. 200 and almost 50,000 miles on it. Valves are rattling in the 350. That's about the 13th transmissions that I've torn up in it, even though the one end is still good. The trans technically going back into this truck is the original trans from this truck. It's been a rebuilt stage 2, Kevlar clutches, the whole nine that I've been hanging on to. Supposed to have a 383 stroker motor in it, but my wife confiscated that for her car. So I'm going to go ahead and cut back over to introduce you to my co-host over with the motor, and he's going to give you a breakdown on that, the progress we've made. Andrew? Alright, well, we don't know where Andrew went, what the hell he's doing, so I guess I can do his part. So this came out of the bread truck. We got the new 700R built to go on it. This is the original trans that went in that truck. It's got a shift kit, stage 2 rebuild, which means Kevlar clutches and bands. Yeah, that's been sitting waiting for that. Still need to make the downpipe, get the downpipe adapter ready. Got some pipe. And I'll finish pulling off. We're going to pull the whole front of the truck off. Make it easier to make for the motor mounts. It came with mounts mounted to the block. Take these off and use the holes for mock-up. So that way once the motor's in and cocked at 10 degrees to the passenger side, make the motor mounts. Using the original 350 rubber bushings. Yeah, that's all. Guess that's it. Andrew! Alright, as you can see, I got the 4BT and 700R4 transmission mounted in the truck. I got new trans mount. I made motor mounts, well, motor brackets. Used motor mounts off of a 75 Dodge W200, basically a crew cab power wagon. They're cheap, they're easy to find. Normal 350 motor mounts about 25 bucks a pop. These are $6 a piece, and they're designed to hold, you know, a V8. So the only thing I have issue here is the one I made. It's a little too close to where the lower radiator hose goes, but all that is a little bit adjustment. So I got the tent up over top of the truck to keep the water off, rain, to at least get everything that'd be easier to work on without the front end. So the only things left really is the exhaust, so that we don't have to reach it, wedge under the hood and freaking go around the fender. At least, I mean, just the downpipe. So this, as you can see, they cut off with a blowtorch. It's just a clamp. It's a V-band. Takes a V-band on it. I took my grinder and just kept going around it to separate the old pipe. So it takes the 3-inch pipe. So I had this extra piece of straight. It was straight. As you can see, fits nice. I got it bent, but the custom exhaust shop freaking hammered it, because they have basically, it's a cheap pipe bender. So in order to, the whole point of exhaust is for it to flow. And then, so I went online. I ordered this beautiful piece of mandrel bent 3-inch exhaust tube. So what I'm planning to do is cut it somewhere in this area to use this side as the downpipe. Mount this around this area. Once I cut it off, I will end up with the rest of it to put down here to continue out the back of the truck, because the truck had 3-inch exhaust on it. So all I technically have to do is just put another piece of 3-inch pipe under there and line it all up. But I'm going single outlet. This truck originally had dual exhaust on it, which no mufflers, no cat, no nothing. And it sounded great and it was awesome and it looked great because there's big tips on the back of it. Actually, tips for a diesel truck. They're 6-inch diameter tips, stainless. There's 2 of them on there. One got bent when I was rear-ended, just a chip, and it was shoved over the axle, was shoved forward. So what I intend to do is I'm going to end up taking and robbing the tips off, and I'm going to straighten the one out, put it back on here, or I have another cool tip that I may use for a while. But rob the good tip, I'm going to put it on my new truck, since I put a 4-inch exhaust on it, and it'll fit, because I have it neck down to go to a 3-inch. But once the downpipe goes on, and I get the general idea of where I want everything, the next thing to do before I can put the front end back on is the brakes. See, here's the original master cylinder, brake booster, and ABS unit. I'm basically going to break apart here, keep the master cylinder, and I have a Hydro Boost set up that came off of a 95 Chevrolet that I scrapped for parts. So I'm going to run that up and hook the lines for the power steering. Much other than that, I've already fixed the desk pin in it. So I've got the bracket on here already to fit the throttle cable off of the Chevrolet here. All I gotta do is unbolt this old throttle cable and put mine on there. Now, and I can have the front end on to wire it. The only thing I'm having a little issues with that I ain't figured out yet, because I haven't put much time into it to figure out, is the kick down. I probably have to put it on the opposite side somewhere if I can figure out some room. I might put a bracket, drill a hole in this end of it, because it teeters back and forth, and just put a longer bolt in it and put the mount up here somewhere and relocate the dipstick for maybe here or anywhere else. I can go plenty of different places, here, there, or even just so. It's all getting there. Figured you guys want to update. After I get this pipe cut, after I get this mandrel piece cut, measured, and then cut, shave down, and then clean this up with the wire brush, I'm going to weld it to it. Go from there.